name is Brent. I'm one of the owners of Sound Media. And the whole point of doing these interviews is we're here to highlight the local talent around all of our network and just give people a new audience and let people know what we do and what we're about. Again, my name is Brent. I'm here with Lucy, the owner of Lucy Made Photography. We met a while back in high school, so we've gone a long way. You guys done a lot of great work. That's why I'm here to support you guys. I rock with what you guys do. I'm glad you're hustling, keeping your head down. So let's just jump right into it. Kind of give me an intro of how you got into photography and what it makes you feel and stuff like that.
Sure. So I actually used to be a model back in high school, and I loved being in front of the camera. And just as I grew, I actually ended up enjoying being behind the camera. My fiance is actually the one that introduced me to photography in the first place. And you know, he put a DSLR in my hands, and I guess I had an eye for it, and I ended up loving it. And I mean, that's just where I am today.
Okay.
It just brought me here.
Now, when you work with clients and you're giving them photography and what they want, what is your creative process looking like? Meaning, how do you kind of give them what they want or ask them, what are you looking to see from me, kind of to highlight them as a project?
Right. So when a client comes to me, we go through a process of questions. I send them a questionnaire and I find out what it exactly is that they want. So, you know, for instance, if you come to me, you have an idea of what you want. And so my job is to fulfill that idea in my own creative, artistic way. And so, you know, most clients, they won't come to someone if they don't like their way of portraying things. So as a photographer, everyone has their own artistic style. So, you know, if you like my artistic style, then you're going to come to me.
Now, when you're saying you're getting into the style of what they like and whatever they like, what type of cameras do you use that really utilize that tool of what you're trying to give them?
Okay, so depending on the shoot, every lens makes a huge difference. So you're not going to use just, you know, the standard 18 to 55 lens. If you want to shoot like beautiful portraits, you want to get, you know, like a 35 to 55 millimeter. And so the lens and the equipment really does make a difference. Also, you have to have an eye for it. I mean, anyone can pick up a camera and take pictures, but, you know, if you don't have the right eye or if you don't have the right equipment, it really makes a difference in the actual final image.
Yeah. Now, kind of give us a little spill of maybe who you worked with and just a little backstory of how you met them and the value you provided for them.
Yeah, so I've worked with, a couple of my favorite people that I've worked with, you are one of them. We're taking pictures all the time, and you know, we go way back, so there's that. And then I have worked with a vintage motor cars company. I've done you know, headshots for their employees. We've done automobiles. We went and took them off site and did some driving around shots, and then product photography. I do product photography commercial. And so they were actually really great to work with. They do Porsche remanufacturing. So the Spiders, the Coupes, like all the more vintage cars that are really hard to find, or they have the parts that you need. I've worked with them, and they were a really great company to work with. I have worked with a Circus Vargas. That one was really fun. We got, so the way that I was found by them, actually, we went to the circus for the first time. I've never been. And so we went, and I posted up the pictures that I had taken just on my own. And they really liked them, and they hit me up, and they were like, hey, can you take pictures for us? And it was actually a juggler and a tightrope walker who reached out to me. And so we've got free front row seats. We got to go on the actual circus floor and take pictures for them before the show, and take pictures during the show, and it was just like a blast, and that was also a really cool experience. And other than that, I work with like a lot of, you know, I work with families, and I work with artists and models, so it's just a broad range of
just really trying to
people that I get
branch
to work
out,
with.
give value to everyone, and that's what I try to tell a lot of people. Is like, if you want to get your name known and you want to get out there, you really got to put yourself out there. You kind of got to be vulnerable for a little bit, and not everybody's going to want to work with you, which is okay because the world's big, 7 billion people, which is fine. So I completely understand. Now, I know you said you work with them. Do you have anybody specifically, maybe in a month from now, 2 months from now, a day from now, who you want to work with and what you want to do for them?
I mean, I do have a few models that I would like to collab with on just creative projects. I actually recently just did a modern day witch theme project. And
Go into detail about what do you mean by that?
So I have these ideas of things that I want to shoot. So I pull out a journal and I write all this down and sketch it, and I'm like, okay, I need to find the model, I need to get the clothes, I need the scenes, and so this is what goes into like a creative process. And so I found my model, I had the clothes. Most of the time I go thrift shopping and, and then
is it kind of like is it kind of like cosplay? Is that kind of what it is, or?
It's kind of like cosplay. I mean, it's modeling.
Okay.
I mean, you get to dress up. You take on a character for that period of time, and then I just capture it, and it comes out amazing. I'm really excited to actually post those pictures soon. But creative shots. I forgot what the question was.
You're excited to work
right?
with maybe
Yes.
in the future.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any specific names. I do have just because I don't have a good memory, but I do have a list of people that I would like to work with. Let's see. Yeah, no, I can't.
Maybe is
think
there
of
maybe a
any.
specific industry that you haven't tried yet that maybe you're interested in? Maybe like I'm not really too sure. I'm not in your lane, but
So I've done one wedding.
How was that?
It was difficult. Weddings are difficult as a photographer regardless.
What makes you say that?
There's literally, as a photographer shooting a wedding, you are the manager. Like, you have to keep everyone on a time schedule. You have to make sure everyone's looking spick and span. You have to keep an eye to make sure that there's no flaws in the dress or the groom's little flowers proper. It's a lot to take on, especially as a single shooter. Like, if I have a partner, it might be a little bit easier. But I don't always have my partner available. So I do want to eventually get into photography for weddings, but that is going to be a journey.
Now, give me a little spill of who your partner is, and then also too, are you looking to expand your team? I mean, what's that looking like for you? What does that help you out on?
So right now I do work with my fiance. Like I said, he's the one that introduced me to photography. He taught me everything that I know, and so he's my partner. He does have his own job. So like I said, he's not always available. So I would probably soon be looking for a second photographer as clients start to pick up. It's been really slow lately because of COVID, of course. But yeah, I do look. I'm probably going to be looking for a marketing assistant and somebody to handle the pay bills and stuff.
Yeah, and so like let's just say fast forward a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Once you start forming this team or it's already built, what is that going to change that you're not doing right now?
I mean, I'm not going to be doing everything myself. I'm not going to be stressing, about everything, running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Like, it's a lot of work running your own business. You're the marketer, you are the accounts payable, you are, I'm the photographer. Like, I'm everything.
Yeah.
And so, getting a team, that's going to really take a lot of pressure off of me, and I'm going to, be more successful.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, dude, you have to really love what you're doing to do a startup company, because, again, people aren't really going to see the vision, which is understandable. Again, it's not their vision. And I tell people all the time, once you start building up this company and the fire starts to get bigger, that's when people are going to want to come in and kind of put their ideas. And I tell everybody, I'm like, dude, 9 times out of 10, everybody's a critic. Everybody loves to watch. Everybody loves to tell you what you're doing wrong. But when it comes down to helping, and everyone's like, maybe, and I'm busy. So I definitely feel you on the team part. It's hard finding loyal people nowadays. I tell people all the time, like, dude, I'm more surprised by loyalty than whatever the case may be. So I definitely hear you where you're saying on that. I know you went over like the cameras you use. Kind of just go a little bit in depth of what camera works better for maybe a long shot, a wedding shot. I know you said you had a lot of trouble with it. What camera lens really felt good for that, and then something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, lenses, equipment wise, I do use the Nikon D5600, and then I also use the Sony A7R4. That's actually my newer camera that we have. That one is amazing. I honestly use that one majority of the time, and I love the quality that I get out of the camera. If the client wants large prints, I'm able to get really good detail in the shot and blow up those prints, and it'll still look really detailed. So that's one of the benefits of using the Sony.
And most of your clients, they want big shots, they want blown up.
Yeah, so they want, like 13 by 19 or, 11 by 24 like poster shots. If you're gonna get graduation pictures,
Yeah.
most people want like a big board so that way it can be signed or whatever.
And you've done a lot of graduation photos. And
I've done graduation, engagements, I've done, let's see, I do families, I do mini sessions, I do automobiles, I do like creative shots, which we've talked about. What else do I do? Pets, I like doing pet photography.
And you would say that Sony 4 camera is kind of just like the overall view for most
That
of
one
those
is
projects, or-
amazing for pretty much everything, yeah. And
Yeah.
I do have 2 lenses that I have for that one. I have an 85mm, and then I have
Now, what's the point of the millimeter? I know you're saying 100mm and 85mm. Is that
it's
kind of
the
just like
range.
the range?
Yeah,
Okay.
so depending on the lens and how far my subject is gonna be, and what kind of bokeh, like if I want bokeh in the background, I'm gonna use a different lens to achieve that. So the millimeters is just which one I'm gonna use depending on where my subject is placed and what type of look I'm going for. So depending on if I want, so I'll probably use like an 18 to 55mm if I want to get the subject and the background all in a pretty decent crisp shot. So it just depends.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. Yeah, because like I said, you want these people to come back and work with you. You don't want to kind of go into there and say, hey, I kind of know what I'm doing, or maybe I know what I'm
Right.
doing. I would definitely say you should definitely look into videography. It's just going to open up horizons for you. I mean,
Absolutely.
I always tell people the sky's the limit, man. Your business is only going to go as far as you're willing to take it. This is stuff I had to learn the hard way. So I try to give people some leeway of help people at the end of the day. And that's really why the reason we're doing these interviews is I want to help draw attention to our town. You know what I mean? And especially where we're at in Inland Empire in Southern California, I feel like a lot of people are kind of shy. Not shy that they don't like to talk, people shy in starting their own thing. And I started noticing that a lot of people don't really have confidence to be a leader. And I want to instill that in a lot of people. Like, it may be a dark road in the beginning, but eventually the light will come in, and eventually the business will start picking up momentum. So trust me, I completely understand it like that. Last thing to kind of wrap up this interview, just tell us of how we can reach you. Do you have a website, social media? What cities do you travel to? Are you willing to travel maybe state to state for work? What's that looking like on your end?
So at the moment, I don't currently have a website. It is in the works. Right now, I am using a HoneyBook portfolio, which is on my Instagram. I do have a link on my Instagram. You can follow my Instagram at elme.photography.
The interview, we'll wrap it up. Again, my name is Brent, Found Media. The whole point of us doing this interview is to highlight your business. Obviously, I know you're driven, you're excited, you're passionate, which is good. You should be happy, you should be passionate. I'm like, dude, if you're bored, you should probably give up the business already. But I appreciate you coming down, letting us know about your business, what you got in the works, and hopefully we can spark a deal or something.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That's it, done.